goes in the middle to Caitlin Horde, not down. Swing long there, and Nebraska on the board. There's a look at Caitlin Horde, the newcomer to the Nebraska program.
And just again, getting those connections, those timings in the middle, and the nerves, you know, as we talked about earlier, even just going through that process. And while she's got a veteran out on the court, just a new venue and a new team and a lot of new things for her.
Service error on Nebraska. They had, believe it or not, 10 service errors earlier today in match number 1 of that win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They start off with one here in this evening's match.
I don't know, the focus has been really trying to be tough servers, really challenge right from the get-go, and sometimes that results in errors. You just got to find that right balance, and here we get a missed serve from the Tulsa side as well.
One of the 3 captains now to serve, Lexi Rodriguez, in her sophomore year, named a captain. National Freshman of the Year, only the 2nd ever for Nebraska. Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year was Rodriguez, and the staple of that back row, and she was back at it earlier today with those one-armed ups and just outstanding intuitive play in the back row as you see the kill from the right side by Whitney Lonstein.
You know, back to Lexi Rodriguez again, she just has great position. She's so quick with her feet. She reads the situation so well. And like you said, she holds nothing back to pursue that ball.
Good pass out to the right pin. Nice dig in the back row. Knuckles gets it up. Hold over. Evans takes first touch. Rodriguez steps into set, and Whitney Lonstein delivers from the right pin.
Lonstein does a great job there, stays behind the ball, has good vision of the court as she approaches. She had a good match this morning also, played very well on that right side and just gave kind of that pin dynamic on the right side. She had 8 kills.
Coach Cookin talking about Lonstein earlier in the year said, you know, she probably is going to make the biggest jump of anyone from last year just because she was raw as a volleyball player, kind of this level a little bit new to her, but she is so athletic. So has earned that starting spot, starting for the 2nd now match in a row, and we've seen her with a couple of kills here early on. There is, on the other pin, Maddie Kubik.
You know, as I mentioned before, just the rock, she's just so solid out there. And again, having the opportunity to watch her practice a little bit, I mean, she just keeps working and pushing herself to be better, you know, not satisfied, just that constant drive. And you can really tell the confidence and the leadership out on the court that she has kind of stepped into those roles as well. Great coverage there by Rodriguez.
Nice team from off the net. Block goes off of Kubik and out. Point for the Golden Hurricane.
Smidlova on the right side there, taking advantage of the big block, tools it off and gets a big kill and some energy for a team.
Evans runs a quick middle to Mendelson.
Just a tough ball. That ball was pulled Evans off the net. And Mendelson, again, that ball's kind of coming from behind her head over the shoulder. As the ball comes off, you got to get further away from that middle so you have vision and can see that, and it also gives the setter a place to shoot to.
It's like they called the lift
just
on Evans there.
Kind of took it from behind her.
There's an ace by Braden Hipp. Hipp, a freshman setter out of Fort Myers, Florida, with a nice serve. Was a little late in getting out of the way. And another ace off the tape and drops.
Those are just tough balls as a player. You just got to be ready to react, try and get a hand on the ball. Beautiful pass.
Assistant back to Lonstein one-on-one, and she takes it right off the block. And 3 kills here early on for Whitney Launstein.
You know, and so key. We talked about serve receive and being so critical part. Again, put you in system. The blockers, Launstein had a one-on-one matchup based on them having to honor and respect each of the attackers in the front.
So Nicklin Hames now will serve. Hames in a new role this year, obviously. Not setting for the Huskers, but in a defensive specialist role. Coach Cook just raved about not only her play, but her leadership in her super senior year. What she has meant to some of the younger players and guiding them through the fall camp. Great up there by Hames.
But also, again, for Hames, just again, a rejuvenation of excitement, doing something different, you know, and contributing in a different way, and also maybe seeing some of her teammates excel, and as you mentioned, leading them through that.
That was fired through. Heavy swing there by Kaylee Cassidy. Cassidy, all-conference player out of the AAC, first team all-conference, gets the kill.
Cassidy really leads the offense for the Golden Hurricanes. She's kind of their key player and go-to gal. She led the team last year, averaging just shy of 4 kills per set. So when they have the opportunity, they like to feed her the ball. Nebraska coming together after that play, just really communicating and talking. Making adjustments, trying to stay on the positive side of each play.
Good quick tempo from Evans to Kubik. Pulled her inside of the set, and Kubik puts it down.
Right, just again bringing that ball inside, puts it at a different spot. The blockers need to adjust. Ball coming from a different location, and I think the key there is the tempo, just the fast pace, and beats the block.
Powered to the block, point for Tulsa.
And really, I think the key here is Tulsa is really focusing on another great pass there by Kubik.
Batenhorst with the swing not down.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Tip try, good coverage by Batenhorst. Off the block and down, and Tulsa with the first point of set 2. And there is Cassidy again. Cassidy's dad played basketball at Morningside. They're out of Overland Park, Kansas. The family is here tonight watching. I think I saw her dad before the match.
She's an all-conference player and really led this team offensively last season.
Just long on the serve.
And that's tough. And again, kind of came out with, got a kill there, stepped back to that service line and a service error. So Tulsa just really struggling to get into any rhythm. Nebraska is forcing that, obviously, but again, trying to find ways to string a couple points together.
Good job by Launstein to quickly flip that over and then just punched over by Kubik.
Kubik does a nice job. She kind of does a full spin there and takes the ball from behind her. Rodriguez popped it right up on top of her, but she gets herself in a position and then makes a smart choice. Doesn't try to power it, just place it and comes up with the kill. That's her 6th, I believe, and she's hitting right at 550, 545.
Tough serve there, not down by Knuckles.
Great push there by Launstein with her hand. Horde.
Caitlin Horde with the block.
I mean, she worked pin to pin along that net, over with Lonstein, then gets to the opposite side with Kubik and is up there solid. Look at that great sweep, that push in with those hands, pushing it in the center of the court so it doesn't go out of bounds off of her. Great technique.
And another one. There is Horde again, who gets a handout. Back-to-back blocks by Katie Horde.
She's just so good at the net. She moves well. You know, here she goes. She works from one pin. She gets back into her base and then quickly comes back and seals out on the opposite side of the net. And then here again, just for that last point, is there solid and throws it right back. Again, she just has a great instinct, but then you add that with the quick movement laterally along the net. She is tough.
6'4", great athleticism, terrific ups, and just a dominant player. You see Kubik with swing there. Little known fact about Caitlin Horde is Caitlin's dad, Derek Horde, played basketball at Kentucky. He was drafted in the 3rd round by the Cavs back in that 1983 NBA draft, which was one of the great drafts of all time. Along with her dad, drafted that year was Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy. It was just a dynamite class back in '83, and she gets that athleticism.
Yeah, genetics.
Yep.
Pretty good genetics there. But you know, that transition, you know, joining this team, Coach Cook said it's been seamless. And both of those attackers have not made a hitting error yet. So not all, I mean, that in itself is pretty impressive.
Good timing there in the touch and the kill for Tulsa. Good pace on that quick run to the middle.
Mangari just gets her hand on that. Again, she wasn't really on top of that ball, but went at those high hands of Horde, just got the fingertips and find success.
Mangari, just a freshman out of Mansfield, Texas, Mansfield Legacy High School. Bright future. She had over 1,000 kills in high school and contributing here early to the Golden Hurricane.
And another serving error there for the Golden Hurricanes. Just really, they do something great, and then they follow that up with some service errors. It's just, again, hard to get in a rhythm here and confidence.
Roddy with a serve. Pass is shanked. Back over for a free ball opportunity. Evans pushes out to the pin to Kubik. And that high percentage, hitting percentage continues for Maddie Kubik.
And I'm watching the blockers of Tulsa, and it's just too fast. They're not able to get there and close. And also they're having to hold just in general because, again, Nebraska's have been working both pins, Lonstein on one and Kubik on the other. But it's really given the hitters a big advantage, and they're capitalizing on that.
No touch. Swing was long point for Nebraska, and it's 9-2 here in set 2.
Tulsa had a tough match, actually about a 2-hour and 15-minute match this morning, and did some really good things and but just so far have struggled here. Great up, but not controlled. Nice swing there. Again, Cassidy with the power on the outside. That's her 4th kill. She leads the Golden Hurricanes.
Serve there by Cassidy.
Wow, just the power.
Tough swing there for Lonstein over her head. But boy, got some pace on it and put it away.
And those are the balls, again, she normally has power on. They're working her to control that. And again, she was able to get the touch there and control that. But that was a tough ball. You see Evans didn't have many options there, but to try and put it up high, and Monstein had to just get herself in a position to see it, keep it in. Great serve.
And an ace. Nick Hames. 24 service errors last year for Nicklin Hames. Enough was thought of this program and the talent that it has, and it's ranked #1.
Well, and I also think, too, again, last year, just the continued growth that they made last year, you know, struggled out of the gate, you know, and got along, but just, again, to see where they started and where they ended, I think, like you said, that belief and confidence in the program with the personnel that they have here, people believe. They made them believe.
Good pass that time after back-to-back aces, but Mendelson, 6'5", freshman, Maddie Mendelson there, and puts down the block.
Big block there by Mendelson, and again, one-on-one matchup, but what she does is she reads the attacker's approach, and at that last minute reaches over and takes away that angle on the side and closes it down. Great up to the corner.
Knuckles with the diving save, but then right into the block.
Yeah, but you know, Kubik is able to push that through, and the block wasn't up solid, and so it sneaks it between the net and the blocker's hands. See, there's just enough space there, and that's why it's so key. You can't just be in the right spot. You've got to seal that off. Because really, Nebraska was in a tough spot there with that ball.
Block touch there for the Huskers on the slide, Mendelson. And there you see the power of that swing by the freshman, Maddie Mendelson.
Get her the ball in a position, and she can drive through, reads the block very well, takes it that hard cross court, and gets on top of that. Makes a statement. The crowd's excited to see that out of the freshman. And to be honest, she reclassified, and so she should be a senior in high school. She should be a high school player.
Another aggressive swing out of the back row by Knuckles, not down.
Tough ball. Great job just to keep that in the court.
And again, another swing. Off of the hands goes Maggie Mendelson, 6'5", freshman out of Ogden, Utah. Couple of kills here in set #2.
Two big swings coming around on that back side. They're in that 5-1 system right here, so she needs to step up and needs to be another attacker. And she's doing it.
7-0 Nebraska run on the serve of Nicklin Hames.
Oh, well,
Ani got the block just a little long.
Well, being a shorter blocker, you don't usually get on top of the ball. You're popping it up, but just the power behind it, it sent it long, but felt good to get your hand on there solid. You could see she was excited.
So Mongeri now will serve for Tulsa. Good chase down off an aggressive swing on the slide. Very near to
pushing her again. Oh, Evans, oh, great up.
Great pancake.
Best rally we've had here, actually our longest.
Kubik closes it out. (17-5) the score here in the second set. So how about a team ranked #1 in the country to start the season, but #2 in the Big Ten Conference behind Wisconsin?
Right, and I think, you know, the Big Ten votes, coaches vote.
Yep.
You know, and I think just again the respect of that program too. They got some, they lost some key players, but still have some remaining and brought some key players in, and so It'll be interesting to see. It's going to be a grind. Big Ten always is, but it just keeps elevating, and kind of interesting, the coach's view on that.
Dalolari with that last swing from the left pin, an aggressive kill by the senior out of Istanbul, Turkey. Net violation on Tulsa, point for Nebraska. If you don't look close at that Wisconsin roster, you might think, well, they lose their four-year starting setter, they lose the back row star, they lose the National Player of the Year, and it's going to be trouble for Kelly Sheffield in Wisconsin. But that team has done what Nebraska has done for so many years, which is just reload. Smrek is back. She's a 6'9" clone.
And played incredible in the national championship.
Was named the national championship player of the match, right?
Yeah, right. MVP or whatever.
Yep. Good swing and a kill by Kubik. And then they get maybe one of the best liberos in the world coming over. She played pro ball in Europe and is coming over to play for Wisconsin. Just a dynamite libero. So they don't, I think setter's going to be where the challenge.
Yes, I was just going to say, it's the big position or the big question is in that setting role.
And some would say it is for Nebraska as well.
Yeah, trying to figure that out and sort through that. And even today, Coach Cook is giving both setters opportunities, and some are like, well, what about Nicklin? You know, and again, I think that they've made a decision to move for the future. And here too, and you'll see a lot of balls are being served to Hames.
Yeah.
If you know, that happened this morning's match as well. She received several, and here too, she is the point of contact as far as who they're trying to serve to.
Set definitely low.
But Hoare does a great job, really identifies that area in the middle of the court. If you're not in position to really swing hard power, then know where the open areas are, and that's exactly what she did.
What I've seen out of Hoare in the red-white game and also earlier this morning and a little bit here, not as much in this match, but she loves to go behind the center.
Yeah.
In multiple ways, not just on the slide, but even sets right behind the center. Hoare is so effective.
Well, I think it's that 1 foot takeoff. She likes to explode off of that. And also, if she has, like the slide, she likes to run and drive after the ball. And that actually adds that elevation, that lift and power. And she's got it.
Marta Picali with the serve. Pulls Batenhorst inside.
You see here off of this situation, they're keeping Batenhorst on that right side and Lonstein on the outside here. So if you're kind of wondering, if you're watching in the rotations.
Great one-handed up. There's Roddy again. Lonstein tried line, not there. Cassidy is dug. And closed out by Cassidy. Cassidy with 5 kills here in the match. She's hitting above 100.
And a big win there. That's a nice long rally, some big digs and so forth for Tulsa. So important here, tough serve and keep it in. Try and pick out a point here. Back row blocker there, you know.
Yep.
Ani Evans is in the back row.
Huskers hitting .385 in the match and .385 in this set.
Yep.
Identical. Just, well, they're going to call it lift.
Lift, yep.
So she pulled it across her body, tried to go line.
Yep. And you see right there, again, the team staying together a little bit longer. Great communication, talking through. You can see the captains talking, Kubik really talking to her teammates there. It's about that refocus, next play.
First hitting error there on Lonstein.
Court just gets up, elevates so much, so well. Ugh.
Her best games last year was the game against Wisconsin when they took the Badgers to 5 sets. She had 21 kills and hit 475, and a lot of the times looking right across the net from Dana Redke.
Yeah, I mean, she's just a phenomenal athlete and fun to watch up there. Like I said, she has a presence.
Cassidy again to Nebraska. 4 away from taking set number 2. Tulsa has slowed Nebraska's roll a bit here late in the second set. Could not get it over on the third, so point Nebraska.
And you can see here, just in that last series through the front row, they try to use Horde in front a little bit more, coming right on top of the setter for that quick ball. So just getting her hitting different shots, keeping the blockers balanced.
Mendelson back in for Nebraska as Horde went to the bench. Oh, good bump set. Cassidy. Lonstein didn't finish into the block. Good block there by Lonstein.
Yeah, and again, both of Nebraska blockers in sync, very.
Block was late getting there. It was almost a one-on-one for Kubik.
And that's trouble. Kubik, and she recognizes that, sees that, and makes that swing accordingly. Taking that hard angle.
12 kills for Kubik, just 1 error, 22 swings. She's hitting right at 500. Tough serve and the ace. Kubik there for the block. Her mom played at Nebraska. Her sister Lindsay was an outstanding player at Missouri. Member of Team USA for a while. Kelly had a terrific overseas career as well and has now moved into coaching. Cook's coaching tree is going to be well represented this year in his schedule. You look at where they're going, who they are playing this year. They'll play Ole Miss. Caleb Anworth is coaching Ole Miss. They're going to play Long Beach State. Tyler Hildebrand is coaching there. They're going to travel to Kentucky where Craig Skinner is the head coach. That should be a terrific matchup in mid-September on a Sunday afternoon. And then, of course, added to the schedule, not only the Big Ten schedule, which is so tough, but they play Creighton, they'll play Stanford, they play Pepperdine tomorrow night. It's just, it's going to be a fun year of challenging volleyball for this Husker squad.
And if you're not challenged, you're not going to be your best.
Right.
And I think that's the mentality, too, of creating some of those difficult challenges in the schedule. You learn who you are.
I guess the one we didn't mention that they'll play this year twice in conferences, the Fighting Illini. Chris Thomas is the head coach for the Illini.
Great. Again, just that dynamic of that back row attack from Maddie Kubik and how well they lead her into that, to really drive into that. The pace of that ball is tough to really handle.
Lonstein tools the block and gets her 11th kill of the match. That ties her career high. She had 11 last year against Arizona State, so tying a career high for Lonstein.
And just a great tool shot there. She had blockers there and couldn't go with the power. So that's, again, a great growth, I guess, and decision by her that they'll recognize, I'm sure, as they look through film.
Batenhorst off the top.
Just a nice ball. Evans pushes to that outside, gets Batenhorst in a position to tool it. Coach Cook comes over and again gives a big fist pump to Batenhorst. That's the type of shot he's looking to see from his players.
Swing wide there.
Smedlova tries to take that cut shot. She had an angle there, but just didn't get on top of the ball and just going wide and just missed her mark.
So Ani Evans back to serve.
This puts Nebraska in a really strong rotation with Lonstein, Horde, and Batenhorst up front. That's a big front row, a lot of power.
Off the overpass, Batenhorst put it away. And timeout will be taken by the Golden Hurricane. All of the setting duties here in this nightcap tonight. You know, the most extensive time that she had seen previous to tonight was last year, early in the year here against Kansas State, when the Wildcats came back, almost beat Nebraska. Ani Evans came into the match for Kennedy Orr at the time and had a total of 12 assists. That was before tonight, her career high, and tonight here she sits 29. With 29.
Yeah. Doing a great job running the offense, making great decisions out there, and I guess the other part that she's done is get the ball in position for them to hit well where they need it. You know, you got long arm up front, good tempos too, out into position, really doing a nice job.
Back to serve now.
Horde again.
The block, and there is Horde.
Two stops there on that series. I just love how she moves, and one thing she does well also, she just keeps those hands high. Look at that, how she's strong in her shoulder position, but also, again, those hands really controlling.
Fourth block of the match for Caitlin Horde. Nebraska on an 8-0 run. Tulsa opened up with the first point here in the third. Nebraska now 9-point run.
Just a great shot there again by Allie Batenhorst, tooling it off the block, out of system.
Tough serve. Horde steps into set. No touch. Lonstein is just long. Katie wanted the assist.
Yep. Well, and that's one of those things too. As a middle, you're focusing so much on getting off and being ready to attack. You also sometimes have to be ready to step in and have good hands, you know. And since you don't do that very often, you got to be clean when you do.
Good tip. Killed by Cassidy.
That's her 8th kill. So she leads Tulsa.
So out of that break, back-to-back points here for the Golden Hurricane.
Great job. Just that timing, and that's work through that. And again, I'm really loving watching them talk together. Great up here. I believe that was Pacali shooting under that ball.
Horse got it between the block, but not down. Here's Evans out to Lonstein, and there is a new career high for Whitney Lonstein, 12 kills.
And in this rotation off serve receive, they keep Lonstein on that outside. So gets her in a position to really use her athleticism and drive to that ball.
Great pancake up by Roddy. And then Horde threw it right in the middle.
She's at a whole different level above the net there. I mean, that ball popped up, and she's right on top of it. Didn't hesitate, but look at this great play.
That's terrific.
By Rodriguez. And Horde taking that strong move, finishing it. And like I said, just a whole different level above the net.
Ryan Wills getting clarification from our R1, or I guess it would be R2. Not sure you got the clarification you wanted. Cubic tried line. Kasu was right there and a nice up.
And Horde just gets her hands on the ball. There she is again.
Boy, she was late getting to that block, but so quick that she recovered.
And she's strong, and the other thing she does, she watches that attacker so well that she gets herself in position. She took that hard angle, even though she wasn't close.
Yep.
The attacker, she's reading it and sweeping it in.
Good angle there again, where Cassidy has been impressive for Tulsa.
And there takes it underneath the block. That block is difficult, so you've got to find a way to go around it. You're not probably going to get over it. So either try and tool off of it or that sharp angle.
Yeah, right in the back corner, and the block just did not get there, but great set there from Evans.
Yep, she got pulled to the left side and pushes it back, but gets it in a nice position for Lonstein to really drive through it.
She just held that middle for so long.
Yep. Well, and the middle's leading along too, following Evans, thinking she's got to take that outside.
Lift called on Tulsa. Nebraska now up 14-5. Boy, Lonstein just exploded right between the block. Now leads Nebraska with 14 kills in the match, hitting right at 500. Almost missed it.
Point Tulsa. Back to serve for the Golden Hurricane, number 10, Kaylee Cassidy.
She's like, I want that one back. Nobody saw that, right?
Yeah. Only 8,000 people.
That's right.
Nice quick tempo. Just Middleton a little bit late.
Good bump. Trapped her a little bit, though.
Yep.
Only get a left hand on it. Bailey Rowe was there for the block. Rowe, the sophomore out of Prosper, Texas. Young team here, this Tulsa squad, for the most part. A couple of freshmen playing, getting significant action here, as well as Bailey Rowe, who's a sophomore, Rachel Brown, a sophomore.
The serve is long point, Nebraska. Checking into the game for Tulsa, number 23.
Both teams, now check that,
Checking in the serve for your Huskers.
5 service errors for the Hurricane, just 4 for Nebraska. 2 aces already in the match for Nicklin Hames. She's back to serve now. Off the block. Kaluloage with the kill.
Just a tool shot there. As we talked about, Evans is in the front row now, so she's their focus of the hands, trying to take advantage of that mismatch. Knuckles from the back row, then a two-hand. Didn't come out cleanly there.
Back to serve number 10, Maddie Cuban.
Tomorrow night, Nebraska back in this tournament against Pepperdine. Pepperdine also unbeaten. Nicklin Hames will be looking across the net at her younger sister, who plays for Pepperdine. Nicklin's sister, Kaylee.
Kind of a family reunion here.
Nicklin had an opportunity, I think, to play 1 or maybe 2 years with her younger sister in high school. They won a national title, a state title in Tennessee together.
But is this her first time matching up at the collegiate level, though, I believe?
Yes. She spent some time, her sister spent some time with this Husker team during COVID here in Lincoln, working out and training with the Huskers. So the entire team is very familiar with Nicklin's sister, Kaylee. In fact, you remember the podcast last year that Nicklin did? Nicklin had along with
Lauren Stivrins. Yep.
They had Kaylee on the podcast once. Roll shot, good up. Pulled inside, tried line, and net violation called to Nebraska. Point for Tulsa. Back in for Nebraska comes Mendelson.
And back out.
Back out because, yep.
And then in comes Rodriguez.
Yep.
Got to do that in that correct sequence. Great transition there, Horde. Key to that was, again, Maddie Kubik. She is passing nails on the dot. Giving Evans all options.
Good block, and again, Cassidy. Cassidy had 14 kills in the earlier match today on 56 swings. She has 41 swings here tonight, so she's nearing the 100 swing range on the day.
Maybe a nice bag or on that shoulder. But I think she's used to, I mean, she gets the bulk of the swings for this Tulsa squad, and so she's got that shoulder ready to roll.
We're going to get our first look here tonight of Hayden Kubik.
Coming in for her sister, which is fun.
You just look at these outsides that Nebraska has. Kubik, Launstein, Batenhorst, Krause. So here is Hayden Kubik, 6'2" freshman, West Des Moines. She went to Valley, #1 recruit in the country. I loved her quote when she committed to Nebraska. She said, "Legendary players have come through this program, and I want to be legendary."
And as a coach recruiting, I mean, you're grabbing that up.
Horde now 8 kills in the match. Great timing here between Horde and Evans.
And just the velocity on that ball.
Yeah.
And the angle. I mean, she's got the angle. We got a lot of physics going on with Caitlin Horde out there.
.21-11 the score. Knuckles serving for Nebraska. Good up by Knuckles. Back to Launstein. Let's go back and take a look at that kill from Katie Horde earlier tonight.
Well, in that quick transition, and just look at the elevation of those hips, how high she is, her contact point. And when it finishes, her teammates are like, wow, we see that every day, but feels really great here. And again, she has made that transition to this team, you know, a player coming from a different program who's been across the net from you and now is your teammate, and they love her, and she is just a great teammate and has fit in seamlessly.
Swing is long.
At the line serving for your Huskers, number 8, Lexi Rodriguez.
3 away from taking the match.
The hit is long, point, Nebraska.
Hitting percentage for Tulsa now negative here in this current set, and just .029 in the match.
Nebraska's hitting 184 this match, but overall 312. And they've been sitting and hovering at 380 for most of the match.
At the line serving for Tulsa, number 10, Kaylee Cassidy.
Cassidy after the kill back to serve. Launstein, nobody there. 15 now for Whitney Launstein. That's a new career high. They win it on a 2-hit violation, and Nebraska closes it out in set 3, 25-13. 15, 12, and 13 are the final scores. Nebraska all day long looked impressive.
definitely came out, played very clean. We saw two different lineups between the two matches today.